comedian. You may recognize him from swiping left on Tinder. Please welcome Mike Reyes.
All right. Hey, check out this sexy new stand-up costume I bought on clearance. I hope it was worth it. I gained a lot of weight to fit into this right. All right, as you can tell, I'm a big horror fan. Yeah, great. Yeah, oh man, I love horror. Horror can be great. A lot of people frown on it, but just think of all the money we've pumped into the economy with just like tattoos and piercings alone. Now I get it, horror fans, we're some of the scariest looking people around, especially the ones that are also Raiders fans, but we can be very nice and very forgiving. Take the Halloween franchise, for instance. Oh man, now OG or old school fans consider this one of the best in the whole genre of horror movies, and it has its flaws, but it has its praise. For instance, it was praised for not having much blood, and that's one of the things it needed more of. It also could use more boobies, like 2.5 or 3, if you ask me. 'Cause if anything helps further the plot, any plot, it's, boobs. Hey, these scenes need work. What can we do? Put in boobs. Hey, that works. Yeah. So there's Halloween 1, 2, and 3, which was a standalone. Had nothing to do with the first two. Everybody hated it at the time. There's no Michael Myers. There's no Jamie Lee Curtis, who were in the first two, and that's what everybody associates Halloween with. But regardless, no Michael Myers, and they substitute like old man ass for boobs in that one. And that's my least favorite kind of ass. But 3 is now one of. Now it's beloved because it was about killing all the kids in the world. And I get it, they can be needy. But anyway, so then we have Halloween 4, the return of Michael Myers. How did they do that? Didn't he get blown up in a hospital by a psychiatrist who unselfishly sacrificed himself along with many patients and probably the whole maternity ward? And Michael, he still has bandages on his head 10 years later. The doctor, he's got a scar on his hand, burn scar on his cheek, walks with a limp now. But other than that, he's doing all right. You should have seen that explosion. No Jamie Lee Curtis in this one. She was done with horror around 1988. So they just say she had a daughter, then died in a car accident. And Michael's often running back to Haddonfield to kill his niece. Did I mention their characters were related? Yeah, they came up with that in part 2. Forget the dynamics, they don't matter. But they're brother and sister, and Michael does not appreciate sibling rivalry, so I'll have to kill a little girl for the next couple of movies. Around part 6, they kill off that girl from parts 4 and 5 after they replace her with another girl, but she has Michael's baby in that one. She was impregnated via turkey baster by some druids in some weird cult. It really fell apart around here. This is probably one of those parts where boobs could help. Anyway, everybody hated that piece of crap, and there was 2 different versions of part 6, so it's like 2 turds for the price of 1. Anyway, somehow they got Jamie Lee Curtis to return to the franchise for Halloween 7 or H2O 20 years later. And he's like, wait a minute, didn't we kill her off in part 4? Hey, forget parts 4 through 6. We were kidding. Yeah, she doesn't even have a daughter. Now she has a son who's played by Josh Hartnett. Yeah, how about that, huh? Yeah, so Laurie Strode, she cuts off Michael's head at the end of this movie. Yeah, it's not a bad movie. Guy did very well at the box office. People sort of liked it, but the producer was not going to let a decapitated head ruin his franchise. You sillies. So, about 4 years later, Halloween 8 came out. They kill off Jamie Lee Curtis's character after they put her in a mental hospital because that turns out that Michael she killed turned out to be a fake Michael. What? Yeah. Take a look at this flashback we came up with. After Laurie conquered Michael, but before she cut off his head, real Michael Myers woke up and knocked out a paramedic when no one was looking, and then punched him in the throat so he couldn't talk, and then put him in the ambulance before Lori drives off with it and crashes it and cuts off his head, even though all he had to do was take off his mask. I'm not Michael. So they kill her off in the first 10 minutes of part 8, and Buster Rhymes and Tyra Banks shoot a reality show in his house or something, and then Michael gets all pissed off and murdery again, and then he gets electrocuted or something at the end. I don't know. It was over after 7 for me. So nobody liked that one, and so 5 years later they come out with the reboots with Rob Zombie. Now, that first reboot became the worst in the series until they let Rob do the sequel. And that really clogged the metaphorical toilet. They even had a white horse in the cast for some reason. Yeah, the OG fans absolutely hated this movie, but the people who saw these first sort of liked them because they were stupid and didn't know any better. So the studio knew they couldn't get away with that, so they gave it a rest, and it's like, what do we do now? I know, a requel, a rebooted sequel. Yeah, and hey, we got Jamie Lee Curtis back. Yeah, she's back into horror again. This is great. She doesn't even have a son this time. She has a daughter again, but not the first daughter, a new daughter, and a granddaughter, a teenage granddaughter, and they're both hot. No boobs. I mean, they have them, but you're not going to see any. So, yeah. So they thought about the studios thought, oh, hey, let's give them a trilogy. Yeah, so, all right. Yeah, we got a trilogy now. And like, all right. And the first one was just okay. And then, all right. Hey, look, we brought back some of the people from the original Halloween. Yeah. Here they are. And now they're dead. Yeah, we Force Awaken them. If Star Wars can remake their trilogy and kill off beloved characters like in an instant, so can we. And we're going to do just as crappy a job. In fact, the second one's barely going to have Jamie Lee Curtis. The third one's barely going to have Michael Myers. And you know what? You're all going to see him anyway. We're going to make millions because you're horror fans, and that's just what you do. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Sure, you don't care about 4 different timelines. This is your thing. This is what you do. Yeah, you don't care about your schedule and oh, let's see this movie. But we just saw it. No, this is a different movie. But it's the same thing. Yeah, the same stuff happens, but there's different boobs in this one. That's basically the concept. So they did not get it right after the 3 tries, and we're waiting for the next round. But it's like, we're horror fans. We just don't know when to walk away from an emotionally abusive, cinematically abusive situation because we just don't know any better. And a lot of us, actually, I completely forgot what my point was, but a lot of horror fans can be scary looking, but we're really nice and very forgiving and extremely loyal. And a lot of us are single, so ladies, thank you very much.
All right, Mike Reyes. You can't get more